Hi there, downtown San Diego today. It's been a while actually. I've been enjoying not being here because there's been no SANAC meetings for the month of August. So I've been hanging out pretty much everywhere else, mostly at the coast though, you know, based on the heat. But why is there a vlog today? I want to do a story time with everybody. Now why am I telling a story? Everything's a story with me, of course. But this one's very specific. Recently, I was interrupted by County Council. What's his name? David Joshua Smith. I'll have more to say about him at a future Board of Supervisors meeting. But he interrupted me because I read a certain story I wasn't supposed to read. Although he said he had a privilege to interrupt me and assert that I shouldn't read it. But acknowledging I'm already doing it and already have, he didn't notice that. But I'm going to read it now. So this is a story about county corruption by the purple people pleasers. Here we go. I have a copy. Look, here's my copy. I actually printed a copy. You can find this right just like it looks. From Helen Robbins Meyer, sent Wednesday, December 6, 2023 at 10:02 p.m., pretty late, to Claudia Silva, former county council. The subject, inappropriate interference. Claudia, I am sorry we didn't connect today, but I want to let you know that I am very upset by a phone call I received from Terra late this afternoon. She prefaced her comments by saying the call was very delicate. She went on to say that Michael Vu was not a shoo-in for the interim or permanent appointment. However, she wanted me to know that she would vote for him as an interim to ensure there are 3 votes if he agreed to make Paul Worley the assistant CAO. She felt he could only be successful if Paul were there to lead him through the political issues that she doesn't think Michael understands. She asked me to delicately ensure Michael would name Paul as his number 2. I won't articulate the range of responses to this egregious quid pro quo backroom deal and interference in the process. This is a blatant attempt to involve me in an unethical scheme outside of the closed session selection process where all 5 members are present. She made it abundantly clear that she would vote for Michael and ensure he got the interim position if I used my influence and mentorship to ensure he picks Paul. I will add that this is not the first time I heard this. Paul told me that he had talked to Terra about this and he had Vu solidified provided he was the ACAO. He had a similar discussion with Michael as if this was great news for Michael. I am documenting this for the record since you are the point person for the recruitment as well as CC. I told her no. I also told her that if anyone in the bureaucracy found out that she had cut a deal like this, it would discredit Michael and Paul, not to mention look like she was trying to insert herself, chosen Politico, into the bureaucracy to ensure she was securing her favor with him. This isn't just interference. It's interference that destroys integrity of the CAO office. One final note. I alerted her that La Prensa has made 2 inquiries into Paul's appointment, his job description, details on the vacancy, salary, etc. Therefore, if something like this got out, it had the makings of a salacious article impugning our ethical standards. And so there you go. You can see why County Council, not only was he up for the job position that day at the Board of Supervisors meeting where he interrupted me, so he's basically trying to be a good Terra minion to keep that job. But as you can see, it exposes all the corruption that's been going on. We all know it's been going on. That the unions, Lorena, Nathan, are picking the people when they're not even there anymore. But they want these political people in these spots so they can keep destroying the county. Michael Vu got screwed. That's what happened. Was he a good guy? No. He had a black belt in voter fraud as far as I was saying and found from my research what he did in Ohio. It just proves that don't work for evil. And that includes Claudia Silva. That includes Helen Robbins Meyer. She was on board with all the craziness in 2020. And I read those leaked emails too. So it's not the first time I read anything leaked from Helen. She put this on record so that somebody could one day prove it. And I assume that somebody was Michael Vu. So this was in his lawsuit against the county. You know, he accused Nora of racism. I've heard from multiple people that she was indeed racist, and I think from seeing it in person, yeah, there's some truth to that. She had a very pro-Mexico bias. Mexican-Mexico bias, both actually. I never had problems with her, but obviously, you know, I guess we share the same culture, so I guess she couldn't discriminate. But I don't like any discrimination of any kind, and that's one of the worst kinds of discrimination. But I think in the end, more than that, was Terra's discrimination of, if you're not 100% our club on our page, then we're not going to let you have this job. We don't care how qualified or if you're the next in line. We're putting the whirly in with the KPBS connection. And so it all makes sense what KPBS was doing, their hit pieces on people that speak at meetings. It all makes sense now. Because all of them are under Terra, who's under Lorena. And I've been saying this for a long time, thanks to La Prensa for getting all this information and gathering it. I have my own. I'm going to create a timeline of events and really put it into perspective everything that's happened since 2020, because it's a lot. A lot of people were focused on, you know, the lockdown, which they should have been, absolutely, and the mandates and all that nonsense. But behind that, you know, you got to ask how. How did it happen? How does it keep happening? And quid pro quos are one way to end it. You know, if we didn't have this, we couldn't prove for certain what we were already suspicious of. So I'm very grateful. And I've read the whole thing. Not only is it, you can hear it in a meeting, I'm going to keep reading it at meetings. I'm going to read pieces and parts, whatever I got to do. I'm going to get the whole thing out, just like I told county council. When they try to silence you, you keep speaking up, just like Charlie Kirk. And I wasn't even a big fan of his at all. But people like that are proof of why it's important to not be afraid. Just keep doing what you do. Because if you're doing the right thing, good things will come to you, no doubt about that. Sometimes the good things are not money. It may not even be life, more years in your life. It may be after that you see all of the rewards. You know, whether you believe in God or you don't. What you do matters. It can matter if you want it to matter. People use that term legacy. But for real, did you make this world better while you were here? Did you stand up for the right thing even when everyone was against you? If you did, you will see good. No doubt about it.